What's goody, comrades? It's your boy Joey Class, back on this podcast, spitting that bullshit for that ass. And you know what? It's been a minute. It really has been a minute. The last time I was even doing this shit, it was the middle of the pandemic, like in July or something. And I did the last episode in the back of my truck while I was on lunchtime trying to kind of keep this shit going. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? And the reason why you can't find those episodes anymore is because they was on Buzzsprout. And the motherfucking bitch-ass website cancels, or like once you stop paying for the subscription, they scrub all your old shit off Spotify. So probably use them again though anyway. Get this shit up and running again. But you know what? Why am I trying to do this again? You know what, man? I just need some kind of expression. Something for the rants, something for the bullshit, something to look back on too, right? Like, cool thing about any creative project that you got, like, you gotta kind of have an archive, right? You gotta have something where you start from, you can kind of see, and as you kind of keep going and keep going and keep going, you have something to just sort of look back at. And so that's what we're trying to kind of do with this one thing here. Audio for the audio people. This one, I'm still gonna figure out where we're gonna be dropping this, but better to have it. Better to have it, and better to just start those fucking rants. Speaking of rants, man. So, all right, check it. I'm about to do Thanksgiving, or I'm about to host my first Thanksgiving. Somehow my cousins just sort of placed me up to the task. And it's funny because our whole family is going to Florida for Thanksgiving, leaving all the young cousins behind, right? We're all like between our 20s to 30s. And it's funny because it kind of feels like the torch is being passed on, right, towards the next generation, and it's cool. It's cool. I'm willing to take on this challenge, right? It's like, cause sometimes you gotta be unafraid. Yeah, even some, I told some dudes at my job, right, and I work for a union. Most of my guys that I work with, older folks, already like 20, 30 years in the game, fucking waiting to serve a robbery sentence to fucking retire, right? Like, they talk about it like that. Like, they need their just 5 more years left, 4 more years left. And it's like, God damn, bro. But I'm like right on that tail too, like 6 years in. And anyway, I'm getting on a fucking tangent here. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, no. So I'm telling one of the guys, I'm about to make a turkey. He's like, yo, that's a lot of work, man. And you gotta bag it, and you gotta inject it with wine and the juices and broil this. You should just deep fry all. And I'm like, where? Okay, well, give me some tips. He's like, oh, I never done it. What? So what are you giving me shit for? Like, what? And he's like, "What? You gotta have skills, though. You gotta have skills to do that. You can't just learn it off of YouTube." And I'm like, "What are you saying? You never even tried this." I learned everything on YouTube. I'm balls deep in YouTube University. Balls deep. Because you can really learn anything there. And the only way you're gonna develop skills is by trying, right? Like, how bad can I fuck this up? I mean, pretty bad, right? Worst case scenarios. I get too high. I leave the turkey in the oven too long. The oven catches fire. All the smoke alarms go off in the house because this house is interconnected. There's like 10 families here. So everybody then gets mad. And then probably looks at me like a dumbass like, oh, yeah, bro, you would be the one to set off every goddamn smoke alarm on Thanksgiving. And then I still wouldn't give a fuck unless, of course, actually, you know what, I would. Because then I'd have to own up to the fact that I almost burned down this whole house. You know what? Yeah, a lot of bad shit could happen, actually. Think about it. But it's not. It's not. I'm not going to have that mindset. This shit's going to be bomb. It's going to be juicy. And you know what? Everybody's going to fucking need it. And I think I'm going to fucking record the whole process. And I'm going to make sure I get every fucking person there testimony that this fucking turkey was, if not one of the best, the best turkey that they've ever had at any Thanksgiving. Because why else would you have turkey at any other time? So, fuck you to all the haters. Let's just get that out. You got haters? Put a big middle finger in the air. No fucks to them. Sip on some wine. Listen to these cats do destruction. And we're good. We are good. You know what's funny, though? I see this from a lot of older generation, right? Or just, I don't want to just say boomers, but just from people older than me. I'm 30, relatively young. But from a lot of mid-40s, early 50s, I'm seeing like this fear to really jump into the unknown. And, I think to myself, I'm like, yo, I would hate to really be like a 55-year-old today with way too much information. And I would feel like I would be so stuck in my ways that, goddamn cats. You heard that? Anyway, I feel like I would be so stuck in my ways that I would be intimidated, right, to learn about crypto or Web3 or NFTs. And, or wrapping my head around Twitch. But then again, I feel like I'd get into that if I was 55. But for some reason, from most of the people I talk to, right, like a decent sample size of that kind of generation, it is like fucking alien territory to them. Like they can't wrap their heads around it, and it's like they don't even want to do the work to do it. And it kind of just breaks my heart a little bit, because it especially when it comes to crypto, right? It's like, if you're gonna teach your kid about APR rates, loans, credit cards, credit scores, paying down debt, you should at least accept that. Okay, if I'm willing to teach that old financial literacy, then I'm gonna learn some new financial literacy. I'm gonna learn what the fuck a blockchain even means, or what Web3 entails, or how to even open a crypto wallet. And why should I, right? Like, should I look into this cryptocurrency? But you mention that shit to them, and the first thing they think about is a goddamn scam. And yo, if these fucking cats make one more noise, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna start slapboxing some cats. Okay, I'm gonna straight go Canelo on these cats. Or like my man from this past UFC fight. Oh, it was so good. I forgot that name, bro. It was these little skinny motherfuckers, bro, just going at it. Fuck. The Mexican cat and the British dude. Yeah, y'all know the fight I'm talking about. But yeah, no. Back to the turkey too, right? Like, you gotta take them chances. You gotta be unafraid to think that yeah, it might go wrong, but I'm gonna learn from this, right? I'm gonna make the fucking moves. I'm gonna make a dope ass Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make it at least memorable. And as long as I try, I know that'll happen. I don't want my house to burn down. I really don't. But you have to be unafraid, man. You got to be unafraid. Even with this job that I'm at now, I've been here 6 years, and I finally made the decision to transition my way out. Not go full turkey where it's like I'm working full time and then I'm just gonna quit and then do nothing, but I'm gonna go part time. I'm gonna go part time, and I'm going to really push myself to just live differently, right? I don't want to get stuck in the rat race. I don't want to end up like these 20, 30-year guys because that's just not me. And it's also, I don't see it with this generation. I don't know why you would want to do that, And I think that's why you have this movement popping up, right? The great resignation, the great reset, the great fuck you to, you know, career jobs that are supposed to push us forward, but in reality, I feel like they're just really stifling us and just stuffing us into this insufferable, you know, just I don't know, man. Well, I've had a couple weird things just happen to me over the couple months that led me here, and I know that's what's really driving it. And I would love to hear like anybody else's story on this, but mine is like, over the summer, I went to Colombia for a month with my daughter to visit my mom. And that was my first trip to Colombia back after like 8 years or so. It was my daughter's first time meeting my mom. And that experience, right? That 1 month experience in Colombia during the time that they were actually going through one of the biggest social upheavals that they've been having, right? The paro. It was definitely it left a mark. But as soon as I came back, right, and started getting back into the rhythm of work, within 2 weeks, I tear my ankle on the job, and the way the doctor described it to me when I got it, he was like, he's like, all right, like in a football game, the player gets injured and then he's out for like a game or two. Like you got a season-ending injury, and it's like, I feel okay, but listen, I did not understand how the fucking ankle tear would really put me out for like 4 months. I didn't get it, but it did. Like it was hurting to walk, couldn't really lift anything too heavy. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Let me kick back and really relook at things differently. Um, I've been working basically throughout the pandemic. Didn't really have a break like most people did, but I decided to really take advantage because after the first month, I was pretty depressed, but like I started kind of getting back into the rhythm of things because it definitely switched out a lot of stuff that I was doing. But I ended up doing this like writing workshop just to sort of get something to do every day, right? Build up skills, build up my copywriting. Um, Streaming a little more here and there. And then I was just thinking, I'm like, yo, bro, you can really make money out here. Like you could make money doing weird, random shit that you like to do. I was talking to this one girl on Twitter, yo. Shout out to Are You Kristen? Um, she was my writing accountability partner in the writing workshop, and this chick makes money by memberships to her. Or she actually made an app, right? And you could sign up for the app, and she does scrapbooking, radical feminist scrapbooking, and she streams it every day. She does something different on that, and then that's how she's making her money. I'm like, bro, that's so cool. That's cool as fuck. And I'm accepting that. Yo, I'm willing to take a pay cut if it's to go ahead and chase certain things that I would rather do, right? Something like this. Uh, Besides the podcast, I'm doing it on video. It feels a little weird, but I'm really hoping that by February, if I kind of keep pushing past the weirdness, there's going to be something, some kind of nugget, some kind of gold that I could just mine out of it if I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing because I really think we all deserve that. I really think we all deserve to push ourselves to a point where we can uh, unearth something, and kind of just keep doing that for a long time, instead of making money for some large corporation that's just ready to replace you at the drop of a dime. Look, I fed into the whole essential worker hero bullshit, but in the end, it's like the vaccine rollouts came, and then they were just ready to fire anybody that wasn't even getting the vaccines. That shit was weird. It was like, yo, you were just calling us heroes last year, and then now all of a sudden you're about to drop all these people. So it's like, yo, for all that, bro, you gotta make yourself anti-fragile, right? You gotta be doing something that they can't take away from you. And that's hard. That's hard for a lot of people to figure out, because you have to go through that process of, yeesh, it might not work out. You got to have that little fear-based emotion that you have to overcome. And nobody even wants to tackle that sometimes. I'm surprised I even stayed this long at my job, right? And then again, not really, because you fall into security. Security is easy to fall into. And then I see the guys all making the same excuses, right? Or not excuses, but they stay because of the benefits. They got families, mortgages, very important things that you don't want to be in the arms of uncertainty. But then nothing's really going to change. It's not going to change for the better. It's not going to change for the worse either. And I guess most of the old generation is content with that, while this new generation's just ready to spit in their boss's face at the first sign of disrespect. It's different. It's different. I feel like I be getting tested all the time. I ain't trying to spit in nobody's face. That's some crazy shit. If you do that, bro, you need to get smacked. You need to go back home and let your mom just smack you a couple times. If you didn't have a mom growing up, well then you just need to get smacked. I don't care if it's by your gardener. Like, you shouldn't be spitting in people's face. Asquerosa. Seriously, man. But the union's cool, right? Teamsters, let's go, Local 295. But it's funny how, that whole Jimmy Hoffa thing really boosted my union's presence. And then the whole thing with like New Jersey and New York Mafia, being part of the story before it. And just the strangeness of New Jersey, right? Just being a part of that. Today I delivered, I'm a delivery guy. And I was delivering in Lake Hapakong. Lakes, Indian tribe. And it was gorgeous, right? This huge ass lake, fucking sun hitting the shimmering waves, and you just get all this peace. And then last week I was up in the '08 zip codes of Newark, just in the trenches, man. And I'm like, bro, New Jersey is fucking wild. Just in a matter of a couple miles, the whole terrain just changes. I love where I'm at, but things like today where I see that lake and I'm like, bro, it'd be nice to just live in a nice little house by the water. Nice little house by the water, watching a shimmering ass lake. And I'm stuck over here in Elizabeth in a fucking Cuban round hole. Shout out to my Cuban landlord. She's chill. But it's a Cuban round hole. It's a big house. It's got on the first floor it's got two separate, pretty decent floors. Upstairs you got another two. So you got 4 families right there. It's like an Ecuadorian, Salvadorian, Cuban, Colombian, Puerto Rican, American. And then you got like 3 people living in the basement. It's crazy. And that's just Elizabeth, right? Like every house is just some fucking combination of like 10 families. It's wild. Oh my gosh, bro, my goddamn head is itching, man. I'm fucking here slapping my head like a goddamn morena with her weave. These dookie braids, man. I like them, but I'm kind of upset that the girl did it. This Dominican chick on the Ave. Bless her heart, bro, but she didn't want to do this shit. She really didn't. I go in there specifically asking for 6 braids. And she's looking, she's like, yo, you got a lot of hair. And I'm like, word. She's like, I think we got to do 8 braids. I'm like, okay. So she does like 1 braid over here. And it's, I'm like, I'm just chilling. I'm just like, just zoning out. And it looked kind of big. She's like, you know what? On second thought, I think we should just do 4 because this would look really nice, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even fight it, right? I'm like, I'm at the salon. This bitch knows best. She knows best. And I don't think so. Because this shit, bruh. They didn't even have a barber there, right? They used to have a barber, but he wasn't there. I get the braids and I got to go to my other barber. He was busy. I had to go back later. I go back later. And he's looking at my braids. He's like, oh, you finally got the braids. I told him I was going to get them. And then he's like, but who did your braids? And I was like, oh, this Cuban chick. He's like, you paid? And I'm like, yeah. I didn't want to say what I paid. But I just told him 45. I paid 60. But it was with tip and shit like that. But he's like, yo, she did a terrible job. He's like, he's like, when you get it done? I was so embarrassed. I didn't even want to admit I got him that day. So I told him I got him yesterday. He's like, oh, bro, you got to go to this other lady. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I got the number, but I definitely felt some type of way. I was like, fuck. But I had to, you know what I mean? I wanted to do something. You know what, bro? You'll still be able to hear me that I got to take off these headphones because I got to take this shit off. Oh. I gotta take these shits off. But yeah, nah, man. I was like, damn. But you know what? You gotta do something, You gotta do new shit. You gotta do new shit. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in the same place, and you don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, shit. Whew. That relieves some pressure from my head, man. Tapping my goddamn head with these braids. Alright. Put this back on. I'll get back to it. Because you know what? As I was going through it, I'm like, bro, this shit's gonna take a minute. Oh, man. How long we been on this shit already? Like half hour. Alright. Let me see what else. What I've been watching. Oh, you know what? I've been checking out that Cowboy Bebop. And you know what pisses me off about all the hate that it's been getting? People have been like, oh, yo, this anime, like, the anime's way better. This shit's, like, whack. It's cheesy. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's way more respectable than what Netflix was doing with, like, Death Note, with what they were doing with Avatar, trying to make a fucking whole series into, like, a 2-hour movie. Like, you gotta put a little respect onto the production that's trying to put respect on the source material, right? Because the anime is trying to do its best with the manga, and then the show's really trying to do its best with the anime. Like it took some parts of certain scenes and tried to recreate it. The intro's dope, and it's just a nice chill watch. I really liked it, and I have a lot of faith for the One Piece thing too. My daughter and I love One Piece. We're like on, what, episode, I think, 400? What arc are we on? We're at Ennie's lobby right now. We're just finishing up on Ennie's lobby. And as soon as I heard they were doing a live action thing, my instant reaction was to be skeptical. But as I see more and more about it, I'm like, yo, I think right now we could kind of be going into a golden age of live action animes. And and hear me out, because I think what Netflix can really find out is that they can have their little Marvel moment, right? Where they can go for almost any, and you could even redo Death Note, right? Death Note would be perfect if it was an episodic content with a big budget and just a respect for the source material. You're not doing that with a movie. But I think with Cowboy Bebop, with One Piece, they're really going into the right direction. Ah, well, I'm like episode 7. And for some reason I feel like they're gonna start putting more. I would love to see Death Note though. I would love to see Death Note. You could do Vinland Saga. You could do a pretty good just take a nice little Viking style production. And you could make that happen. But for sure, Death Note. They gotta do that with the episodes, man. They can't leave that shit up there. They gotta take that goddamn film down, and then they gotta make it some episodes, because you can make that shit pop. Oh, and you know what? You could even just do it like a mini thing, right? Because there's only 2 real seasons. 10 episodes. You know what? 12. 12 episodes. You're good. What else? What was I listening to today? No, I'm all over the place, guys. But you know what? For the first one being, we'll keep it on the ramble until I start to figure out more and more how to kind of start taking this, seeing if I want to maybe do segments. But you know what? In the end, this is my fucking show. I'm gonna do what I want, bitches. But today I was listening to this podcast all day, The Dropout, about the Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes and the whole drama. And bro, this bitch with her low ass, straight sometimes another deep ass voice, bro. This bitch, she just wanted the money, man. She just wanted to be known. She wanted to be known for doing something great. She out here frauding people and then fucking getting fucked by her Pakistani boyfriend that's dropping $4 million just to keep her company afloat. These motherfuckers, bro. Her board having Judge Mathis, General Mathis, Henry Kissinger. It's wild, bro. It was wild. Definitely recommend it. I didn't think that whole story was that serious at first, but once I heard all this shit, I was like, bro, that's wild. And they do it really good too, right? Like they got the music. Every episode's like a good 48 minutes. Very, very easily digestible. Got the stupid little fucking podcast commercials in the beginning, but that's whatever. And then, what else? Oh, dude, the lunar eclipse. Y'all saw that? I told my daughter that that a lunar eclipse was coming. And mind you, she would always ask me, like, oh, when's the solar eclipse? Like, when can we see a solar eclipse? When can we see a solar eclipse? So then once I knew that this shit was happening, I was like, hey, there's going to be a lunar eclipse on Friday. And she was ready. She made me promise to wake her up, because I told her it was going to happen in the morning. So I was like, all right, I promise. And it comes, we wake up at fucking 3:30 in the morning. And as soon as I'm like waking her up, I'm like, oh, hey, baby, the eclipse is outside. She's like, getting out of bed, like eyes are not even open, man, zombied out. And she was ready to see this eclipse. She's half Peruvian, so that fucking Incan blood in her was raging for a fucking eclipse. And we go outside, we see that shit for 5 minutes. We soak up the lunar power, and this little bitch was ready to To perform a blood sacrifice, man. But you know what? I felt like I got some power from it. I started having a pretty good week, and the full moon's been out this whole time. So you're definitely getting that little gravitation. You know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but this sounds smart. The gravitational pull, the magnetism, and I've just been feeling more creatively energetic, more ready to challenge myself in the form of creativity instead of looking at it as work, right? Even this turkey thing, like I was not excited to do this Thanksgiving thing. I was gonna cop the easy way out, right? Cop the easiest turkey to do. Cop that shit from Popeyes, right? Throw that shit in the oven, call it a day. Just buy the ham, do all this. But for some reason, just within the last week, I just had this renewed interest, right? For all the haters, for all the pressure, and then probably just lunar power. I want to challenge myself creatively. I'm looking at this as a creative cooking task, and it's gonna be cool to just try that. And then besides that, um, same thing. I've been like planning all these different creative endeavors. I'm working on an NFT project. Um, at the end of this episode, I'll actually give you guys a sneak peek at the first NFT that I'm gonna drop, and it's it's really cool, man. It's called Of Ghosts, Shadows, and Assassinations, and essentially what I'm trying to do is take the speeches of politicians that were assassinated and sample them through different genres of music. So, for example, the first one I'm doing is Jorge Gaitan, Colombian politician whose assassination brought on the Bogotazo, the riots in the capital of Colombia that kind of initiated the Colombian Civil War during that time. And I'm using one of his speeches to Jersey club music. I'm also going to take that speech and then put it to hip hop, put it to my acoustic guitar, to this modular system that I got over here. And I'll probably have like 5 or 6 different variations of just that one person's speech. I'll do the same thing with John F. Kennedy, the Mexican president that was assassinated, the candidate, forgot his name, but Che Guevara. And I'll do my research, right? Different African countries, Asian countries, European countries. And I really want to, what I really want to do is I want to take the voices of somebody who was assassinated, right? Like somebody who was so on course to do something that somebody felt the need to silence them. And it's cool to be able to take that voice and manipulate it, right? With reverb and time and delays. And it's almost like you're playing with history. And then, of course, having it with different versions of different pieces of music. That's where the kind of collectible aspect of NFTs come into play, because you have different variations, and I think that's what people like, right? It's not just one. It's there's multiple different, almost collectible cards that you can collect. So I'm very excited about that. Like I said, I'll drop the little sample of that at the end, and yeah, man, lunar energy giving me the fucking power. Where are we at with this shit? I don't know. Well, let's see. Yeah, look at this shit. You know what, bro? The braids always look pretty, or the hair always looks pretty cool with the braids once they're out. Once they're out, get a little more control on that. Oh man, I look corny. But guys, thank you. Thank you for listening this long if you're still here. I owe you a very special fuck you. You filthy animal. My comrades, man. Appreciate y'all, bro. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all if y'all looking at this on YouTube. Uh, throw the follow, the subscribe, whatever it is. You listen to this shit on the podcast on Spotify, Apple, whatever. Rate this shit, like this shit. I think we're gonna keep it there. I think we're gonna keep it there because I'm a little sleepy, tired. It was a long day, and the goal besides, it's not just the NFT project, but it's the goal of being able to kind of take better control of my life by doing the things I would like to do, even if there's no sense of direction. Right there is a sense of direction in terms of down the line where I want to be. And as long as I just kind of keep throwing bones out, I'll eventually catch the dog, or the dog will catch the right bone. I don't know where that was going, but you know what I mean. For sure, I'm going part-time in February, whether I'm ready or not. But I want to at least try to kind of maintain a consistency with this, so that by the time I reach there, it'll just feel good. It'll feel good, and I hope you guys can kind of join me on this journey, because I wanna be held accountable to myself, to be able to really know that I tried. Just like this fucking Thanksgiving. Now I'm gonna make the bangingest turkey, and y'all motherfuckers are gonna see, and that guy at work, bro, I'm gonna cut up a special video just so I can fucking send that shit to his ass while he's eating his dry ass Popeyes or roasted chicken pre-made. I'm gonna be eating this juicy garlic herb butter spread turkey. That is not gonna burn my house. I'm not going to put that idea in there. Comrades, please, 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 please do not be like these old farts. Do not be afraid of trying new things. Be unafraid of failing. Iterate. Put that shit out, and then you will figure it out. You will reach your destiny. All right, comrades. Listen, man, this is Joey Class. About to drop right now a little bit of this Gaitan Jersey Club shit. Hope you guys enjoy. And onwards, comrades. Thank you.
Presentamos como homenaje a la memoria del doctor Jorge Eliezer Gaitán en el 20º aniversario de su sacrificio, la presente antología oratoria como testimonio de la actualidad de su pensamiento y de sus luchas.
Demagogia cuando pensamos que en Colombia debe haber alguna justicia y que el hombre es lo primero. Que no podemos seguir devorados por esta sensación que se apellida con distintos calificativos según las condenas. ¡Todos esos de Miguel! ¡Ya lo habéis visto! Se llaman izquierdistas, unionistas, urbanistas. ¡Todos esos de Miguel! ¡Ya lo habéis visto! Se llaman izquierdistas, unionistas, urbanistas. ¡Todos esos de Miguel! ¡Ya lo habéis visto! Se llaman izquierdistas.
presentamos como homenaje a la memoria del doctor Jorge Eliezer Gaitán en el 20º aniversario de su sacrificio, la presente antología oratoria como testimonio de la actualidad de su pensamiento y de sus luchas.
¡Vamos a eso, Miguel! ¡Ya lo